Hi everyone. This is Sick Diana talking to you. I I'm very sick. um, and I'm sorry about the lack of recent updates. I'm just super busy, super sick, and my roommate is too. There's Madison. Say hi. She like literally can't. She's dying, and what? Like you can't get up without like she can't get up without passing out. Okay, that's actually awful. I'm not laughing at you,
So
but
the international clinic is closed.
so
R.I.P.
R.I.P. both of us. Uh, but so anyway, this is gonna be really fun. If you're wearing headphones and listening to this, I'm really sorry because when I cough, it'll probably sound like an explosion in your ear. But I've been chugging water in the past week, and I think eventually my sickness is slowly dying out. But um, yeah, it has been a very exciting week. I'm trying not to cough too loudly because I feel like this is really loud. But okay, so here goes updates. So let's start with the first day of school. I went to class on time. I figured out all my classes. That was exciting. Um, the thing is, no one told me that a majority of the girls don't really wear backpacks. Like, they have these cute little handbags. Or here's me with my North Face backpack, looking like I'm about to hike the Himalayas or something, versus like all the other girls with their like cute little I don't know, peach colored thing that totally matches their outfit. So that was a little embarrassing. That I was like, here's me showing up at first day of school and ready to trek. We went to the uni store. My friends and I went to the uni store and got a ton of notebooks to write in. And the great thing about notebooks here in Korea is they're super cutesy, super aesthetically pleasing. Like this one and this one, and then this like custard cream one. I got like food theme because like I don't know, food, you know. Oh yeah, okay. So there's this one. I got this Grumpy Cat one. And it's really cute because she's saying like, "Where are you going? Take me with you." I said, "Take me with you." And it's just like really cute, and it's like this notebook is telling me like, "Take me with you." And so I use this notebook for like my important class, so that like when I see it on the table, it's like, "Take me with you." I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then I have this like corgi butt. Yeah, corgi butts are cute. In terms of events that I've been doing since I last updated, I went to Namsan Tower, and Namsan Tower is like a really romantic. A lot of couples go there actually. Place on it's like the equivalent, the sole equivalent of Eiffel Tower, I would even say, and it's especially pretty at night because when we went up there, you could just see like all of like the Han River and like all of Seoul. It was just really pretty. Um, so yeah, I mean, other than that, I didn't like go anywhere touristy. Oh, I went to Myeongdong with Madison actually, but this was when we were at peak sickness, so like we didn't get to do much other than like do a little bit of shopping here and there, but we were we're pretty out of it. So yeah, Myeongdong was fun in terms of shopping. I'd say like if you want to go to Myeongdong for shopping or Myeongdong like restaurants are pretty good there too. Little pricey because it is the touristy side, um, but pretty good. Also, a special shout out to my fangirl, fanboy, fellow comrades. Um, there's a in Myeongdong and in other I think there's one in Itaewon, probably Hongdae, probably like all over like the um touristy like typically touristy areas. There is a K-pop album store where you can essentially my roommate is here! Minnie, come say hi. Okay, sorry. I'm doing my vlog right now, and oh my gosh, you all will finally get to meet my roommate Minnie. This is Minnie, everybody. Hello.
Hi.
Can you say hello in Vietnamese?
Should I say hello? My name is Minnie.
Yeah,
Please?
that or yeah, whatever you want to say.
Xin chào, tôi tên là Minnie.
Oh,
Okay.
good job. Okay, that was cool. Yeah. So anyway, ooh, okay. So sorry that brief intervention. That was my roommate Minnie. Okay. So back to Myeongdong, or back to the K-pop album stores. There are lots of like, so inside the K-pop album stores, you can get obviously, hence the name, K-pop albums, or you can. The one that we visited in Myeongdong had like on the you had to climb. Sorry, you had to climb 2 levels to the album store. So we on the second landing there was just this slew of like cardboard cutouts of like Dio and Tanya from EXO and like all these other like celebrities. So I actually got a picture, no shame, with Dio, who is my debatable EXO bias. And I'm actually not that much of a fan of EXO, not because I don't like them, but because I literally like haven't heard them much. But the songs I have heard were all pretty good, so I was like, Dio's cute, so I guess he's my proxy bias. But yeah, I'm not, for any of you who are about to fangirl with me over EXO, I'm sorry. I will disappoint you. I don't know much. I just know BTS. And actually, Madison's getting me into NCT, so I feel like I'm kind of cheating on BTS. But why can't I be a fan of both? In regards to NCT and the whole like becoming an NCT fan through Madison, um, I thought you all would be interested to know my one awkward, embarrassing moment of the week, probably of the year, slash my entire life. NCT came to Goryeo this past week for a concert. They were supposed to perform at night, so Madison told me in the afternoon in our dorm room that they were nearby because we live by the Tiger Dome. The Tiger Dome is like up on a hill, and we're like a little further down from that hill, but we're still like on the same hill. So anyway, Madison told me that they were there rehearsing, so I obviously got super excited. And keep in mind, there's like our area is pretty quiet. Like we have one road. Okay, we have one road behind our dorm, and we just like kind of look out into this popular like hiking area, that's like forested and like covered with trees. So it's actually a pretty nice view from our dorm room. But like literally no one walks there. There's the sidewalk, but I've seen, unless there's some huge event, no one really walks by our, like on that sidewalk by our room. So I got really excited when I heard that NCT was just like right, right nearby. So as a joke, kind of, I screamed like, "Oh my god, I love you!" And it was just, are you? Oh my god, Madison's laughing at me. I thought you were crying for a second. I was like, wait, what? Oh my god. Okay, I'm outing myself on my vlog. Here we go. I scream out the window, "I love you!" And I'm like, oh, it's fine, because like no one's gonna hear. This one college boy was walking by with his freaking backpack, and I saw him last minute, so I just like screamed and like ran away from the window. Really embarrassing. And so Madison was like, "Oh, that was funny, haha, let me go look." And she looks out the window and he's just like standing there laughing to himself. I really hope he didn't see my face. Super embarrassing though. And then I was like, "I'm sorry, not you. I meant NCT," and he had already left by then. But yeah, definitely don't scream that out the window when you think no one's there, because there will be a moment in life when two events collide and somebody is there and they will think you're talking to them. Pro tip. And now that we have that down, let's move on to school. I joined some clubs on campus. In terms of school, though, school here is pretty intense. I wouldn't say it's shocking because I mean it is a Sky University, so like basically if for those of you who don't know what Sky is, it's like the equivalent of an Ivy League back home. So I wouldn't say it's shocking because I was like prepared for a lot of work. I think I don't want to like jinx anything, but I think it's like I'm pretty sure I've gotten the hang of it, like just the rhythm of things. Definitely classes are going great. I love it because here classes are not the even though this is like a pretty big or it has like a big population, largely populated university, I'd say. Um, it has smaller classes. So I think my biggest class is like 50 some people, and while like me coming from a liberal arts school, I'm like 50 some like that's an event for us. Like that's not a class, that's an event. But here it's like it's a class. So I actually like it because I think like about half the class doesn't really participate and they're more of the quiet, would rather listen type. And then the other half, the other 25 really does participate in active conversation. And over here active conversation is actually for the most part highly encouraged. And I'm taking one language class not for credit, but just because I want to. I knew I'd regret it. It's not awful. I don't regret it. I'm taking an intermediate Korean language course, simply because I think it will help. So far it's going splendid. Everything's going well. So another thing we have to talk about is the food here, because the food here is hands down the best food possibly even around the world. Like, I'm a picky eater, and if I'm hungry in the middle of a street somewhere in America, I'll have to, like, Google I don't know, like, Google the name of a restaurant, look at the Yelp ratings, look at every single review, be like, oh, how, like, was it flavorful, Over here, it's like, if I get hungry, like, in the middle of shopping, I'm just like, oh, whatever, restaurant's good. Because, like, honestly, the food here is so good. Like, it could look like a mom and pop, like, really dingy restaurant, or it could look like a five-star restaurant. Either way, the food here just about, like, tastes the same, pretty much. Also super cheap. Like, there's this one place that I really like to go to. It's called Duber Duber. You can get bibimbap, like this giant bowl of bibimbap, and then you can get a large serving of bulgogi, which is like super flavorful cow meat. I think I can say it that way. You can eat that all for 6,000원, which is like $6 in America. So I can get so full over there for $6, and it's great, and I love it. And the food here is, I wish I could take it back and show you all how amazing it is. Okay, I kind of just realized how much I was fangirling about the food here, and I was actually fangirling harder than I thought I would, so maybe I'll just make an entire update video about the food so that you all can get an idea of what we're eating here. There's this thing here that exchange students are involved in called Kuba. That's Korea University Buddy Assistance. And so basically, when you first get here as an exchange student, you are paired with a buddy. And then that buddy is in a group of other buddies plus their group leader. So basically, with that group, you go and like do things, and um, you go to something like a haesik, which is like a company dinner outing type thing. I'm part of group 3, and so group 3 goes to lunch on Monday mornings. No, Monday afternoons. Oh my gosh, lunch on Monday afternoons and dinner on Thursday evenings. Um, and Thursday evening dinners are the wildest because for lunch it's just lunch and then you go back to school, or go back to your classes or whatever. But for Thursday evening dinners, it's okay, dinner, and then like the first time I was there, okay, I was like, okay, dinner's over, we're leaving, cool. Nope. There's a second round, and then there's a third round, and all of those are intense games and like I don't know, intense like partying. So yeah, I would say the most intense event though, um, is one I went to yesterday evening. There was cheering orientation for an event we're gonna have sometime in April called Ypsilanti, where like some K-pop stars will be there, and it's basically this giant concert slash event for all of Goryeo, all of Korea University. And so we needed to learn school cheers for that, so that we can have like a cheering. It's just kind of like a spirit assembly, basically. Um, and then in the fall, unfortunately, we as exchange students won't be here for that, but there's that annual kickoff games between Korea University and Yonsei University. And that is the oldest rivalry, most famous school rivalry, because these two are the only that have like varsity sports. So there'll be um, basketball, soccer, baseball, and I think ice hockey. I think those are the four. Oh, and rugby too. And Gorida has had a 5-year winning streak, and Yonsei last year beat them. So this year is supposed to be super hype, and I'm so sad that I'm gonna miss it. But in terms of cheering, Gorida always wins. So uh, anyway, we were learning the cheers yesterday, and I was standing, or so you're supposed to stand for like all of the cheers, and I was standing next to two buddies in my group, and both already knew what they were doing. So there's this part where actually in multiple songs you're like supposed to put your arms around the person next to you, and like these cheers are songs. So you like swing side to side for some of them, or you like go up and down like this, and or you're jumping, and they knew what they were doing. So, and I had no idea what the next move was. So, at the first move, when they were like, when you're supposed to go down, and I'm not going down far enough because like the desk, but it's just like you just whip forward. And so, first time um, that move was pulled, I was like, they like whammed me down. Um, So yeah, that's cheering orientation for you, and I think that was the craziest event by far that I've ever been to at the school. Um, I was afraid that I would have a back injury, to be honest. As for updates, that's all I have. I will try to update a lot more often. I'm sorry, I just have so much work. Yeah, other than that, pretty much everyone is sick here. Madison and I are not the only ones. Hopefully by my next update we'll all be healed. Madison can get up without passing out, and I can stop this hacking cough. Um, so yes, that would be wonderful. Trying to think of what else, and I think that's about it. So until next time.